Shalom Yashrala, this your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that we will. And salutation and much love for you, I can push this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here article, still dealing with, on one end wars and rumors of wars, but also on the other end, uh, um, as the scriptures describe Esau to a T, man. All right. So this is from RT. It says, delivering Maduro to America was an objective of failed Venezuelan incursion. U.S. mercenaries say an interrogation tape. It says, kidnapping Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and bringing him to the U.S. was the objective of a failed incursion into the country. One of the two captured U.S. mercenaries said in an interrogation tape released by state TV. Two employees of the Florida-based security firm Silvercorp has been detained by Venezuelan forces in connection with the failed invasion. The only instructions he received before Sunday's botched operation was to take control of the airport in order to facilitate the transfer of Maduro to the U.S. Luke Denham, one of the detained Americans, said in the footage. Denham also claimed that there was a good payout waiting for him following the successful completion of the risky mission. I expected anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000, he said. All right, and really this has been going on for, quite a while, maybe 2 or 3 years, or maybe even longer than that, where they've been trying to ultimately overthrow Nicolas Maduro from being the president out there. They had a different president beforehand, and the people wound up getting rid of that president because they had basically a puppet over there for a short amount of time, man. But America's trying to get back over there and take control of those resources, all right? Because Venezuela has a huge amount of oil. I think they have the largest oil reserves, anywhere, all right? It says, let me jump down. It says, Maduro announced on Wednesday that Denham, a fellow Silvercorp employee, Arian Berry, will go to trial in Venezuela. Caracas will also be demanding Washington extradite Silvercorp boss Jordan Gordu, as he was one of who allegedly coordinated the actions of the mercenaries. All right. Now, this is all coming from these so-called American companies or so-called private organizations. This is one thing that Esau does. He uses proxies. He don't never go out there with the official uniform. They're not going to send, the American military out there, whatever, whatnot. There's a documentary, forgot what it was called, where they break down this whole thing, how they pretty much go to war with these other nations. They'll try to go and overthrow them by, brainwashing the population, make the population overthrow them. That don't work. They'll send in, what do they call it? Not the money changers. It's something like that. But it's, it's basically these people at war, financial war, something like that. But nevertheless, I can't think of the name of the documentary. Lord willing, I'll think about it and it'll come back to me. But nevertheless, like the first step is we'll go over there and we'll try to predicate some kind of fallacy from the government to where the people will have an uprising and they'll so-called oust the leader in the sight of the people or in the sight of the media, so that the people on the world stage can be like, well, they wanted them out, we got to go help the civilians out. If that don't work, they'll go in and they'll try to send in mercenaries, private mercenaries, where it just seem like, again, just some random people from the place or whatever, whatnot, or some terrorists came and took over, whatever, whatnot. But these people are all backed by, the U.S. government, just like when they had shut down the borders of Venezuela when there was a drone attack on Maduro. Then there was another stage coup. There was a couple of them, but there was one where, Maduro closed off the borders because America was trying to come in through, I believe, Colombia. All right, but they wound up taking some Venezuelan people from Venezuela, trained them over in Colombia to go over there and overthrow, Maduro. They was driving in the aid trucks, they made it seem like that the Venezuelans, some Venezuelans set the truck on fire, when in reality, these was basically mercenaries being paid by America, and the majority of the aid that was going in wasn't food or anything like that. It was all guns because they was about to stage basically a coup. All right. But it says in his comment, after the broadcast of the interrogation tape, Maduro insisted that Donald Trump is the direct chief in this invasion. Washington has made little secret of his desire to see Venezuelan socialist president removed from power. And you see, this is all in the open, that it's not, it's not a secret. It's not a conspiracy or whatever, whatnot. It really, to this here point, the devil's running around mask off, coming down with great wrath. So, I mean, for them to be doing this type of shit is kind of pointless. They should just go over there with the military and just go and just kill his ass and be like, because it's all in the news, which y'all trying to do anyway. It's the same thing. You're just using other people to do it. It says, Washington has made little secret of its desire to see Venezuelan socialist president removed from power. has been actively supporting opposition figure Juan Guaido, who declared himself interim president in January 2019, even offered a reward of 115 million for any information leading to Maduro's arrest. So they got a bounty on old boy's head. They didn't put up their own little puppet over there trying to get the puppet in the office, but the people don't want the puppet. They're like, who is this guy? He came out of nowhere and just declaring himself the president, man. That's like me rolling up to the White House, and when the guards try to stop me from going in, I'm like, nah, I declared myself the president. Y'all gonna have to let me in. Y'all stand down. You know, like, the people here wouldn't go for it. They were like, nah, but we don't even know you, bruh. You know, even though we don't so-called like Donald Trump, bro, you can't just walk up in the spot saying you the president, you know? But see, America don't, now they not even recognizing Nicolas Maduro as the elected president over there. They talking about this Juan Guaido dude as the elected president. He never got voted. Nobody's ever voted for this dude to become the president, man. They just basically showed up and said, I'm the president now, you know? And America addresses him as, you know, President Guaido, you know? On Wednesday, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo pledged that the White House would use every tool in order to bring 2 Americans who used to serve in the U.S. Special Operations Forces back home. Denham and Barry, along with 11 other foreign mercenaries, were arrested by Venezuelan security forces on Monday as they were intercepted while allegedly trying to reach the country's shore by speedboat. And, you know, if you understand Esau and how Esau rolls, you know, and this is one of the reasons we can tell you for sure who Esau Edom is walking around today, man. The scriptures don't say, well, they tell you that he's red, you know, and they call themselves rednecks, you know, because they see the blood through their skin, you know. That's where he gets his original name from, wasted away is he, all right? But nevertheless, you know, the scriptures, it's not saying, okay, Esau Edom equals so-called white man. They'll give you the descriptions of how he will be rolling and everything like that, and you just look around and see who's doing these things, all right? So we're going to jump into some scriptures, and let me just hit this real quick because, you know, this is going to also lead into these same things, all right? This is Matthew 24 and verse 6. And you should hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, all right? And that's what you're starting to see happen. Well, this has been going on for a while now, you know, and a lot more, the tensions have been rising up. You know, damn near every country has got, you know, they all on eggshells. You know, there's not no country that's not really tense right now from either being at war or, you know, war going on beside them or some shit like that. You know, every nation is dealing with some type of shit, you know, and if they not, you know, like a lot of these European countries really not into no shit right now, but they're part of NATO, so they're part of this whole plunder that Esau's running around the planet with, man. All right? So it says, you should hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, you know. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And, you know, they had the basically famines going on over there in Venezuela, but it was created by, again, the U.S. government. You know, they'll sit there and use this propaganda on Nicolas Maduro. Look, he's a dictator. He's starving his people out. He's just stealing all the money and blah, 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 blah. Well, they got state-run, you know, their state, like the national, not, well, like the, how do I say it? The income for the state, you know, the money that Venezuela pulls in, you know what I'm saying, that to pay for all the bills, the military, the fire department, the police department, teachers and all that stuff comes from oil, all right? Predominantly all oil. Now, the headquarters for their state-run oil is under the name, I believe, Citgo, and it's headquartered out in Texas, all right? So now once this here, you know, once they make money, all right, the money has to be filtered through Texas. Then they got sanctions on them to freeze that money to where they can't get the money back out. All right. And then now all of a sudden, you know, the government's not getting the funding to be able to, you know, pay for the things they need to pay for out there, man. So in turn, the people go out, you know, the people wind up starving. So it's just like, you know, I got a wife and some kids or whatever, whatnot. You know, I get up and go to work every damn day and work hard to get paid or whatever, whatnot. And on payday, my boss decides, oh, I'm not going to issue your check. I'm going to go on vacation and go out of town for about a month or two. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, and I come home to the wife and the kids and shit. And then the wife is like, well, you trying to starve us out? Or whatever, whatnot, or the neighbor's like, oh, you trying to starve us out, blah, 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 you don't want to feed your kids. Well, it's not that I don't want to feed my kids. The problem is that my boss took off with my paycheck, and he ain't gave me my check yet, man. I worked like I was supposed to. I did everything I was supposed to do, but homeboy slacking on his end. So don't look at me. You should look at the dude that's holding my paycheck up, man. All right? But nevertheless, this is what you have going on right now actively with Venezuela, man. All right? America's over here pretty much choking them out, man, just like what you see over in Cuba, man. All right? Cuba's not poor and stuck in the 50s because they just choose not to upgrade shit out there. No, they like that because this is how America keeps them. All right, but what? This is all going to lead to what? Wars and more wars, because who has Venezuela's back, man? Russia. All right, when America was trying to go over there and keep doing all kind of fuck shit, Russia wound up sending that S-300 over there. All right, it's some repair crew and a whole crew to sit there and man it and everything, man. All right, went over there and took the little bit of gold that they did have left over there and take it up out of Venezuela for them, man. Because why? Venezuela had a lot of their gold over in the what was it, the Bank of England or something like that, one of those European banks, and then they weren't letting them get their gold back up out of there, man. This is how Esau Edom deals, man. He'll allow you to put your shit inside of his so-called safety net because he's the only one that's going to plunder it anyways. But it's safer with me than anywhere else because I'll steal it from over there. But then when you go try to take your shit back out, they're like, nah, you can't pull that out, man. Nah, no. We're not going to allow you to have it. You probably can go do something dumb with it. Like, but it's my goal. How you going to tell me what to do with my goal, man? All right? So we're going to go from there to the book of Habakkuk 2 and verse 5. It says, this is talking about Esau Edom. Say, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, his doctrines, his philosophies, and so on and so forth. Like I was just explaining, yeah, you know, putting your gold in our banks is way more safer. You don't have to worry about invasions from other countries and X, Y, and Z, and so on and so forth. Your gold will be safe here. All right, yeah, my gold is safe from everybody else around you, but my gold is not really safe from your ass because at any point in time, you'll sit here and be like, oh, no, we're not going to let you have any of this here gold back or whatever, whatnot, and there's nothing you can do about it. What are you going to do, bring your military over there and try to take the gold from them, man? It's not going to work out, man. All right? His philosophies and his little bullshit that he got going on, oh, you know, nobody can have nuclear missiles. Nobody can create nuclear bombs, but we ain't going to get rid of our nuclear bombs. We need North Korea to fully dismantle their nuclear program and get rid of all their shit, but we're going to keep ours just in case y'all don't keep y'all, or y'all don't, you know, just in case we got to bomb y'all, man. This is his philosophy that he's transgressing by, man. This here wine has got everybody drunk off of it, man. Verse 5 again, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire is hell, and his death cannot be satisfied, you know? Just like, you know, as long as there's human beings being born on this earth, there's going to be bodies dropping into them damn graves, man. And so that's just like, you know, you're not ever having enough. That's like the cemetery never having enough bodies, man, because there's always going to be a body dropping into one of them holes, man. Same with Esau Edom, man. He can't have enough. He has to have everything, man. Once he has everything, he got to have your ass too, all right? It says, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And why does he do that? All right, to rule over top of them. It's not that they can all walk hand in hand, side by side, and so on and so forth. No, he want to reign over top of all these other nations, man. Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunted proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increases that which is not his. How long? To him that's laden himself with thick clay. This is the point where America's at right now, man. These countries are like, yo, why are you still meddling in Venezuela right the fuck now when y'all got to keep printing these trillions of dollars to keep y'all afloat, bro? You ain't got enough money for this shit, man. You ain't got enough money to keep going on with this, you know, you over here trying to gamble with, you know, Donald Trump and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And you make $8.25 at McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? And you got to pay rent tomorrow. You done ran out of your rent money already, bro. Donald Trump's like, no, I'm just getting started, bro. Give me another 100 racks. You ain't got enough money to gamble with this shit, man. But this is what's wanting to break in America right now, man. These other countries are starting to look at them like, yo, bro, when are you going to stop? How long are you going to keep plundering, bro? Verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booty unto them? Because I have spoiled many nations, all right? This is part of Esau Edom's, how do I say, his character, all right? It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations. In modern days today, what nation do you know, what so-called race of people do you know that's going around plundering and spoiling any other nation, man? China ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Japan ain't doing it. None of the African nations are doing it. None of the Arab nations are doing it. It's only these Edomites, man, all right, being headed by America. It says, because I have spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for the violence of the land of the city and of all that dwell therein, you know? Just like in Venezuela, man, and all these other nations, Iraq, Afghanistan, you know, they over here bombing the hell out of these countries or subverting these countries and having, you know, the people going to haywire because you didn't propagated them up with your propaganda. So now they over here up in arms with the government. You know, now the government got all this instability. You know, this is where all these protests and stuff is coming up around the whole world, man, like in Hong Kong and stuff like that, man. All right, or France, you know, America's like, well, all right, y'all don't want to get in line? I'm going to give y'all a problem to where you can't even focus on what we got, you know, our tax on your ass. You know, like America's got the trade war with China and so on and so forth. But what? You know, you stir up a little protest out there where you can only really focus on the goddamn protest. You know, then you ain't really worried about, you know, this the trade war and stuff like that, man. Just like right now, how you can call 911 and be like, oh, we got a domestic dispute over here. Like, nah, bitch, we working with this coronavirus right now. We ain't got time for all that, man. We busy with this. We distracted with this. We don't have time to look at that, man. All right. Verse 9, woe to him that coveteth is an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. This is why all these nations hate Americans. You stupid Americans, you dumb Americans. Oh, we hate y'all. Why? Because for one, the American population just sit back and act like they don't. This is a city that do all carelessly. They just sit back. We don't care. We don't need to know about who the fuck we bombing or who we at war with. But nevertheless, all these other nations are looking at Americans like, damn, how long are you gonna keep plundering all these nations? How long are you gonna keep spoiling all these different nations, man? But then what? They wind up rising up and taking you out of the way, man. Because why? You wind up spoiling all these other nations, man. You wind up going in there and stealing their resources or whatever, whatnot, man. You become the richest person on the block. But how did you do it? By killing and robbing, robbing, and murdering from everybody else, man. All right. Let me go from there to. I want to read something in Isaiah, but I also want to read something. We'll just get in Isaiah. We can actually close out after this, just to make this not to make this too long. This is Isaiah 14. There's really a whole lot that we can read in this. This is I'm gonna read Isaiah 14:4. It says, "Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased?" All right. See, this is talking about Babylon, America, man. The golden city, the great oppressor of the whole earth, man. This is who we talking about, Esau, Edom, or the one nation. First of all, the one nation that's, let me keep reading. It says, the Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke, that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. So what nation is ruling all these other nations? First of all right, and what nations is ruling all these other nations? By oppressing them, all right, and persecuting them and bombing the hell out of them from here to Baghdad, man. It's only America that's really doing that. You got the EU, or NATO, but they being led by America, man. All right, let me jump down to verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even the chief ones of the earth. All right. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So this is, a direct characteristic of Esau, man. He specializes in what they call regime change. All right. He don't like who ruling in some other sovereign nation that ain't even his nation. He'll go over there and stage some kind of coup or coup d'etat, overthrow the government, make it look like, it was a natural thing where the people just had an uprising. Or he'll go over there and assassinate the person, and then they'll go set up their own puppet and start sucking all the resources up out of it, But nevertheless, this is the characteristics of Esau, Edom, man. That regime change is one of the main ways that he goes through and rules these nations. So let me read it again. Hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even the chief ones of the earth. Right? So the chief ones, the mighty, the ones that's up in position. It is raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All right, so what? Who wound up deposing all these other nation kings, man? All right, it was Esau, Edom, but it wasn't in a traditional sense where they went to war with these other nations and then, so on and so forth. Then the leader wound up dying off and they elected him. No, they'll go in and lead the country for the most part intact, but they'll either propagate the people with propaganda, have the people overthrow the government, or they'll send in their mercenaries to make it seem like it was just a freak accident. Or, worst come to worst, they'll wind up just going in with the military and have, intervention that way, Let me jump down. Verse 16 and 17. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, and that opened out the house of the prisoners? And this is what you see and going on right now, because a lot of people are now waking up to the fact that who Esau, Edom is. Is this the person who's been bombing the whole earth? Is this the person why everybody's starving? Is this the person why we have all this pollution? Is this the person that, is causing all these different things, has got war in all these other nations and financial woes all over the planet Earth? Is this the guy? Everybody's now looking at the so-called white man, these Edomites over here, mainly here in America, who used to prize themselves on being the smartest, the most intelligent, the most this and the most that, or whatever, whatnot. But they realizing that this man is actually the damn devil, man. He is the worst of the worst for any scenario situation that there is, man. Oh, their banking financial systems is the perfect thing. No, that's set up as straight usury, man, and drain you of all your resources, man. All right, then you have, the military. The military is so superior, yeah, because you go over there and you subvert these other nations, you destroy their infrastructure, and then you come in with some, weapons that's not really good for so-called war or whatever, whatnot, banned weapons, white phosphorus and stuff like that, man. All right. Well, let me just read it again. We'll close out with that. This is Isaiah 14, 16, 17. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, and opened out the house of the prisoners? All right, and this is ultimately what we're getting to, where Esau Edom is being exposed on all ends of who he really is. All right, we're going to close out actually with this. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, talking about Esau Edom being revealed. All right, who the damn devil is on the earth, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing that he is God. All right, so this is what, this is exactly the role the so-called white man is playing, man. He got the ultimate answer to everything, man. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Here's the point. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And this is how, the so-called white man is being exposed as being Esau Edom according to the scriptures, because while the men of the Lord has been on the highways and the byways, professing and proclaiming these things, man. All right, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And this is what you have going on with Esau Edom, that he's transgressing by his wand. All right, this is what you have going on over there, man. Esau Edom is deceiving these other nations with his witchcraft, his being a damn demon, man. All right. I was gonna grab one more, but we're gonna go ahead and close out with that, just to keep this kind of short. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us his truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.